Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, I show you everything I made back in April and May of this year, 2024. There aren't that many things, but oh my gosh, there is so much beading on each of these. They really do take forever. Totally worth it though. Okay, let's do this.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
Whenever I do one of these collections videos, I've got a bunch of stuff on the rack that shouldn't be there, so I'll carefully pack that away. But anyway, whenever I do one of these videos, I get all these people asking, how do you find the time? I'm like, dude, I am so single. Oh, and at the end, I'll do a Cactus jacket update. So spoiler alert, I've done more beading with one type of bead and one type of sequence. It will get there eventually, but yes, it's progressing very, very slowly. Anyway, so the rack is now done. Let's take a look at everything I made in April and May 2024. So I made 2 yellow dresses. I thought I had enough fabric to make one, and this one has bees at the knees, so it's the bees knees dress because it entertains me, what can I say? And yeah, so I had all this yellow fabric. It was a little bit much, and I was going to make a jacket and one really big dress, but I ended up making one dress that has about 10 yards in it and the other dress that has 6.5, 7, something like that. And I haven't made the jacket yet, but I do have this yellow and white fabric, like it's white and it's got vintage print lemons on it. I think I'll make a matching summer jacket out of that one. Anyway, here's the bee's knees dress, and it's so cute. I do have a card that tells you how much fabric is in each. If you go to the community posts, you'll see it there, but I've also put it in here. Well, the card I put in tells you how many yards they're long each loop of fabric is. So the bottom one loop on this one has 16 yards round and it's pleated down, and the next loop up has 8 yards, then 4, then 2. So but there's more detail in the community post. That way you don't have to watch the whole video again. You can just get screenshot the right bit. Anyway, so, and this sit with the pink vest on. I'll show you the 3 vests later, but this is double-sided. And I thought the lighter side, this is the lighter side, and I thought it would look best, but actually I'm just about to turn it around and the darker side looks absolutely adorable. So I really like this, but I think it's a bit cutesy, and I probably won't wear them. I think if I'd made them in black, I might, but yeah. Anyway, I love this colour combination. When you're making a layer cake dress, a couple of people said they didn't like when they saw the fabrics I'd chosen. They didn't think they'd go together at all. And that's actually part of the thing that makes a good layer cake dress. You have to have contrast between each of them. If your fabrics are all too similar, then it looks like you tried to match them exactly, but you ran out of fabric and tried just pushing in the nearest thing. So having a little too much contrast between each one and having big patterns and small patterns, some florals, some insects, it makes it more interesting and more fun, in my opinion. And this is the yellow vest. The yellow vest was the first one. It's sort of aqua and yellow on one side and yellow on the other. It was the first one I did, and it's the one I like the least. The green is the last one, and I like that one the best. Anyway, here is the dress, and it's just adorable. It's so much fun. I absolutely love it. It is a little heavy because there's so much fabric, like 10.5 yards fabric in there or whatever. But yeah, great fun, and I absolutely love it. Okay, next up, oh my goodness. Oh, I tried it on this is the vintage knit jacket. So it's actually a Chanel style jacket made out of tweed, and the weave of the tweed is like different colored bits of wool are woven in, so it looks like knitted in lines of different colors. And then I emphasize that even more by beading over the different colors. The actual jacket had just a little bit of magenta in there, but I added some musk pink. And oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. I love it so much. It's exactly what I pictured. Sometimes I see a tweed when I'm shopping for tweeds or when I'm not shopping for tweeds. And I see one and I'm like, and I just get an idea for the design. And this is one of the rare times where it's actually like in my mind's eye and the actual finished jacket. Well, I mean, I haven't done the lining yet, but it's just perfect. Well, I only bought a yard of it because it's from New York. So I only bought a yard and I didn't have enough to do the undersleeves the correct way. So I had to do them horizontal instead of vertical. No, I mean the other way, vertical instead of horizontal. And but I think they turned out okay. You don't really see the underside of a sleeve that often anyway. So yeah, I love it. I love it so much, but it took a ridiculous amount of time. And yeah, I want to do another one. They're just so difficult and you just have to have such a astounding level of patience, but totally worth it. And on the back, it's got a triangle, but it's like a camouflage one. You can barely see it. I'd already done the whole of the jacket. Then I went back and retrofitted it with a triangle. And yeah, at first I was like, oh, should I take off some of the original beading and just make the whole of the triangle green? But I kind of like that it's camouflage. It's very cool. Like it's a camouflage in a vintage knit. It's just, I love it. It just turned out so perfectly. And yes, even the colors, like I wasn't sure about putting in the bright sort of musky pink as well. I wasn't sure how it would go with the magenta, that sort of purpley magenta. But it really brings it out and brightens it because it's oatmeal. The light colour in there is oatmeal rather than white. So it sort of looks, I don't know, it could have looked a little greyish, I think, if I didn't add that bright pink. It just sort of gives it an injection of life and energy. And plus I got to use up like some of the jade coloured glass beads. I only had a few of them, and some of the other crystal cut ones, I didn't have many of them either. But once I put them all in one, like in one design, there was enough combined. So yeah. Okay, I've actually forgotten what we do next. Oh, is it that one? Who knows? I mean, I shot the footage, so surely if anyone does, it would be me. It's the green dress next. I went ahead and checked. But anyway, I've also found my housekeeping list of things I need to mention. Thank you for watching my videos all the time and commenting and liking. I really, really appreciate it. I just hit 1 million views of my videos. So yay! Thank you so much. It's really, really decent of you, especially people who write supportive comments. You are awesome, gold stars all round. And the people who leave snarky, nasty comments, guys, you don't write a bad comment and post it. You just yell at the screen. Do you not know this? Like, I get that everyone gets stressed every once in a while, but this is me showing you that the top layer is 1 fat quarter cut into 4 bits, and the second tier is 2 fat quarters. They're each 2 slightly different greens and cut into 4 bits each, and then I alternated between the 2 of them. And then now I'm just slowly showing you all the different fabrics. I really like the one with the daffodils and the little blue flowers. The bottom fabric is 2 yards of this fabric, and I just used a yard of it on the last video I did on the double-sided, the reversible birder jacket. It's very cute. I actually like the other side more, I think, but with the lapels turned out and the cuffs turned up of the colours, this side looks really good too. Speaking of this jacket, in that episode, I mentioned that I had recently turned 50 and that 50 was super old. And the way I said it, it sounded like I was insulting all women over the age of 50. No, please, I'm so sorry. It sounded incredibly rude. I watched it back and no, the comment was about me. I'm just frustrated that, like, when I was a kid, I got so much unwanted attention from adults, and like, well, my parents were pretty bad. They'd just victim blame and tell me that I must have done something wrong. But like even when I went to another adult, most of the time they'd be like, oh, just relax. It's just, all attention is good attention. Please don't ever say that to a child. And they'd be like, relax. Enjoy the attention while you have it. You'll be invisible. You're a woman. You'll be invisible soon enough. And like, I'm 50. I'm still not invisible. It's just upsetting. Like, I feel like I've waited my whole life for these promises people made to actually come true. And I just don't think they're ever going to. But yeah, so last month I turned 50, and then a few days later was the 21st anniversary of my mum's death. And then a few days later was the 5-year anniversary of something horrible that happened. And I was just like, yes, it is time to take stock. It is well and truly time to just look at your life and question it all and see what's going on. Like, I like who I am, don't get me wrong. But yeah, my life certainly is not perfect. But yeah, the next one is the Italian tweed, and it's supposed to be like a pirate treasure, the beading that I chose, and I really love it. This is me showing you the actual tweed, and you can see it's got some white lines on there. Yeah, I haven't done the lining of this one yet either. Actually, there's tiny little flecks of magenta in there, and I do have some magenta silk. I do also have this other silk that's green, black and white mainly, and it sort of looks like gems and American currency, like green cash. And this is me showing you the last of the Italian tweeds. It's a lighter blue and it's got some fluoro orange on there, but it's also got this mint green on there. And I do have some really, really beautiful mint green beads. I was going to make that up into the one of the two press jackets with sort of press is going to be beaded on the back. But the overall beading, I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. Anyway, so this is the side and the back of the denim blue, the darker blue Italian tweed jacket. And yeah, I really love this one. It's just so beautiful. And the Italian tweed that I did beaded before this one was the one that's got the little bits of watermelon and strawberries on it and all the red beads. The red beads are over the sort of oatmeal-y white colour part of it, but it sort of glows green. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this one, yeah, the triangle on the back is bright green, which I love. I want to make another green triangle. It's adorable. And I used up so many, like, there's such awkward beads. Sometimes I buy beads and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is going to be a complete and utter challenge to use up. So yes, which was the case with these ones. I think I have one of those sort of oblong ones left. They look like a bit of chewing gum or something. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with one leftover bead. I think once I've used up almost all of the beads, then I'll do a treasure chest, like a junk drawer jacket that's got everything left over on it, and I'll just do patches of all the green ones, patches of all the yellow ones, that sort of thing. So now we are up to one of the summer jackets. I made two versions of this in cotton, like reversible summer cotton jackets, and they were adorable. And then I was like, okay, now I'll make a tweed one. But I made the mistake of using 2 layers of backing fabric with the tweed. If I'd used just one layer, then because I'm using sequins doing the beading, which are way, way lighter than actual beads. So yeah, I either had to use 2 layers of the structural layer and use actual beads for the beading, like heavy beads, or if I knew I was going to do the sequins, then I should have done only 1 layer of the backing fabric, because 1 layer of the backing fabric is perfect if you don't want to bead it or you only want to do really light beading. But this way, I don't know, it's just too boxy, and I feel like a child, like if my clothes don't fit perfectly, then I just always feel like a kid wearing dressing up in their parents' clothes, dressing up in their mum's clothes or something. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do with this one, as you can see, I haven't actually finished stitching doing the hand finishing. So I haven't stitched the lining down. I've sewn the lining in, but I haven't stitched it down at the sleeve cuffs. So what I think I'll do is I'll just roll it back, and I'm going to add twice as much beading. So this amount of sequins, again, like in between, so do in between each row, do another row, and that way it'll add just a little bit more weight and it will sit better, and I'll actually wear it. Because if I just do the sleeves up and leave it like this, I just don't think I'll wear it. I mean, I do love the way that I've stitched on the sequins. They're a little bit punkish, or they're like plates on a dinosaur, the way they stick up like that. So I do like the design concept, but I just think I need to double down with the beads, and then it'll be the perfect weight. And then these are the 3 vests. I was going to do this other vest pattern that had this pink vest on the front, but I traced out all the pattern pieces, and they were so big, and I really just wanted a cropped vest that I could cut each piece out of, because I had this stack of fat quarters that I wanted to use, obviously all really brightly coloured ones, and this is the back of them. So the yellow one was the first one, and then I was like, no, I want it more of a racing back, so then I did the pink one. And then I did the one in the middle, which is 2 different greens. And yeah, so I really like the green one. I want to make a jacket that has the back of the green one, but is like an actual jacket, because I want to do a fully beaded jacket, but I don't want to spend my entire life doing all the beading of it. And so, yeah, that's why a racer back will be just less weight of beads on your back, but still fully beaded. Next up, I think we have another dress. Yes, it's the yellow and blue one. It's so cute. Anyway, the last thing I had to mention was, I think last Sunday, so a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that I wasn't sure if I was going to keep making videos, just because there was, for the last few weeks, there's been a series of news items about certain types of crimes that have been happening, and there's been all these revelations, and for whatever reason, I'm I've got 3 very big accounts on Instagram, and this YouTube has quite a few subscribers, but nowhere near. Like, I've got 250,000 of followers on Instagram, and when the Me Too movement went mainstream, there were a lot of people sort of talking about being a survivor for the first time, and they needed someone to hold their hand, because some of them were disclosing way too much personal information, and I just sort of made a point of making sure people were keeping themselves safe and not inadvertently disclosing too much. And so I guess in people's mind, whenever that type of crime comes out in the media, they just remember me, and some of the comments, like it just felt relentless for a few weeks there. And I was like, I'm just this person who has survived this amazing amount of stuff, and I'm not bitter. But, oh gosh, people saying, like, just these non-survivors saying things, and I just like, you're just wasting my time. There are better uses of oxygen. And I just felt like, to me, it's important that I am a good person. That's like, you can take like so many things, but that's something that you can't take from another person. And yeah, so it was just like, maybe I should just not put anything out into the universe if it's going to, I worry that I would become bitter, is what I'm saying. And I wouldn't want to do that. So anyway, the last thing is, that's why I was considering maybe pressing pause or not. Like, there's loads of videos. You can rewatch an old one. I know what it's like to want constants in your life and want things that you can always rely on. I understand the importance of that, but I wouldn't, other videos would always be there. Anyway, so this is the last one, the Tempest, named after, the tweed is called the Mediterranean tweed, and I had it for years, and I was always afraid to make it up into a jacket because I didn't want to mess it up. But then I made it up into a jacket, and the pattern matching is beautiful. I love the actual jacket, and then my fear was that I wouldn't bead it correctly. So I took like 3 tries to get this beading right, and I'm just so astoundingly happy with it. And what's more, when I was thinking about this, I was like thinking about Shakespeare and the Tempest, and and it just sort of, it's such an amazing play. Like, it was written in the 1600s, and it has an Indigenous character in it, and like there's also a spirit one which arguably is also Indigenous. And it's just like there was really strong censorship at the time because, of course, England was always at war with someone. So there was censorship on everything. And so the characters aren't the most positive characters in the world, I would say, positive representations. But within the confines of what you could actually write and have performed within Elizabethan England, it's an astounding work. And yeah, I just got to think about that. So the whole time I was working on it. So I didn't mind that I had to constantly unpick the beads and redo the beading, then carefully undo it again and then redo the beading. And I love so the Tempest starts with, it's one of, the thing about the Tempest is that the actual story of it is original. Most of Shakespeare's plays, in Hollywood today, most of the projects, to get them up, to get the funding to get them up, the investment, you have to do an adaptation. It has to be based on a comic book or a book that was sold well, and then people will feel safe enough to invest in it. So yeah, the Tempest is a rarity in that the actual story is original, but the shipwreck at the start is something that was in the news. So I assume he shoehorned that in there to, the investors had something that when they heard the spiel or the pitch, they were like, oh yeah, I remember reading about that or hearing about that. So yeah. Anyway, I love this jacket. It's absolutely beautiful. And that is everything that I made in April and May earlier this year. And this is just a quick update on the Cactus jacket. It's just, as I said at the start of the video, it's just one type of sequin, one type of bead. They're seed beads in clear glass. There's no finish on them. So normally when I buy a clear bead, I get one with an AB finish, and it just makes it, if you've seen beading on wedding dresses, that sort of whitey pearlized finish, that's called an AB finish. I usually get those ones, but I had one bag of these ones and I was like, ooh, yes. They just, because the sequins are kind of the same color as the jacket, but a slightly lighter shade, and it's just perfect. And they're so uniform. And if you look at Cactus, I've got all these pictures of actual cacti, and when I was a kid I had a cacti collection, and it never occurred to me that it was weird, but yeah, I guess it is. But I don't know, I always thought cactus plants are just so cute and adorable. But I guess they're not very huggable, are they? Anyway, I'm still working on it. I'm going to do the 2 fronts and the 2 sleeves, and I'm saving the back because the back's going to have a particular design on it, and that's going to be actually interesting to do. So I'm doing all the rest first and saving the good bit for last. So this is just a recap of everything that I made in April and May. So we have the vintage knit with all the beads. And then the green, oh my God, I love this dress so much. It's just so much fun to like spin, twirl in dresses like that. And then we have the denim, the Italian tweed. That one is beautiful. It's a treasure chest. And yeah, so the next book that I think I'm going to do is Count of Monte Cristo, because that's another one that you could just read and reread like a million times. Or maybe a Dostoevsky. His works are amazing. They're just so rich and textural and devastating, but complex and just incredibly beautiful. So there's definitely enough in there to think about while you're beating one entire jacket for surezies. And yeah, it was, I mean, I could just happily do all of Shakespeare's plays, I suppose. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you again, sincerely, for all for watching my videos and liking and subscribing and all those things. I really, really genuinely appreciate it. Yeah, that's everything I made in April and May this year, and all the beading I did. There's not that many things, I guess, for 2 whole months of work, but each one is an absolute gem, and I am so glad that I have them. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and happy sewing!